So hello everyone and welcome to our first episode of our new podcast. It's very exciting, yes! Yay! So our podcast is Beauties, Glass Slippers, and Red Apples. And as you may have guessed, we're going to be talking about fairy tales, fairy tale adjacent stuff. You know, whatever we feel like and whatever we feel like classifies as fairy tales.
So like anything from myths and legends to Shakespeare.
Yeah, we're not pigeonholing ourselves in this podcast.
Not at all.
So for this episode, we will be reacting to the third film trailer for the Fantastic Beasts series. Very exciting. So Fantastic Beasts, yes, Yay! The Secrets of Dumbledore. We are very excited for this film, and we're very excited to react to this trailer. So it's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
If you listen carefully enough, the past whispers to you.
We're here to see Albus Dumbledore.
That would be my brother. The world as we know it is coming undone. Grindelwald's pulling it apart with hate. If we're to defeat him, you'll have to trust me.
Pick it.
This is the team that's going to take down the most dangerous wizard in over a century. Imagine zoologist, his indispensable assistant. Wizard descended from a very old family, a school teacher.
Oh, they're bringing him back. Okay.
A muggle.
Dumbledore asked that I give you something, Jacob.
Are you kidding me right now? Oh my God.
Oh, they're giving him a wand!
Have to save the world, are we? Things are not quite what they appear.
Swimming like this, Ellie.
Oh my God. Oh my God, this is going to be awesome.
The room we require. Correct. 3 points to Hufflepuff.
Can I?
Very dangerous. It's very powerful. If it got in the wrong hands, you know. Mess you up.
Where did you get it?
You have a Christmas.
It's in the wrong hands. Oh my God. Oh, I just love this character, but it looks like Queenie. Oh my God.
I know. I mean, it's been many years since I've seen the Fantastic Beasts, especially like the Rise of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
And yeah, I already know too, seeing from the trailer, that the actress who played Queenie's sister is different. Unless it was a different...
Really?
Yeah, she's not... I don't think she's the same actress. But other than that...
Oh, okay. I kind of liked her character.
I did too. No, I did too. And I don't know if that's just because of scheduling issues or because of the way things are going on in the world now as it is. But
yeah.
that
is so fun.
It's a great trailer.
That trailer is awesome.
The
oh my
trailer
God.
like brings me back to when Harry Potter used to... When we started seeing like the new trailers for like the new Harry Potter movies.
Honestly, I do not remember any of the trailers for the Harry Potter movies.
Really?
No.
I don't know if it's just like that feeling that it gives me.
I think it's because like I never went, I think, to see any of the Harry Potter movies in theaters. I just waited for them to come out on DVD.
Oh.
But I remember the feeling of watching the first movie and thinking that they had gotten everything so perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just the nostalgia of coming back to the wizarding world of Harry Potter in film form is just...
I know.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we're gonna move over to the couch?
Yes.
Okay. So we had the chance to watch the trailer.
A lot to unpack here.
Yes. First of all, the trailer,
It's gorgeous.
yes, it's awesome.
It is
there
awesome.
Were so many, like, great moments, so many,
Yeah.
like, laughing moments. Like, I love bringing back the original characters. And I'm trying to remember the baker's name.
I don't remember his name. See, this is a problem. This is how long it's been since I've seen those movies, and it's terrible. I even own Fantastic Beasts, somewhere to find them, and it's been a very long time since I've even just watched it.
Like, I want to say Benjamin, but I don't think that's correct.
It doesn't sound familiar.
I
to me
know,
at
but
all.
we'll call him
Baker.
Baker. We'll call him Baker.
We'll call him Baker.
Baker has been brought back, and
He
for
was
those,
my favorite character aside from
yes.
what's his name?
Which one?
Yeah, we're fabulous right now.
Oh, are you?
Is it Newt?
Newt, yes, Newt
Okay.
Scamander.
Newt Scamander.
Although we got to give ourselves to even remember Newt Scamander, like
It is.
it takes a lot.
Yes, it does.
But he's Newt's companion. He's the one Muggle
Yep.
of the main cast, and he is awesome. I just love that character. I know not remembering his name sounds bad, but
I know.
he was honestly one of my favorite from the moment he's introduced in the first film.
Yes.
And he just sort of follows. He gets drawn into this world by Newt Scamander.
And completely and utterly by accident, too.
Exactly, but he's now a part of the family, and it's awesome.
Yes.
So, for those, I'm assuming if you're watching us, you are familiar with the first two films. If you're not, then there will be spoilers. But picking up where the second film left off, so much happened in that film.
So much had happened.
Most of the characters are scattered. You have Queenie, who has joined the dark side, out of fear. Yes. Out of also an expectation that her life can be improved, especially. It's important to note that the films for the Fantastic Beasts series take place predominantly in the United States, in New York City.
Yep.
There are, scenes where, you'll go back to Hogwarts, but for the most part, it's a New York City
and
based story.
We should also emphasize the fact that this happens before Harry Potter, well before.
Yeah, so if you're expecting, you will see characters in the Harry Potter franchise, but those will be the older, so, obviously Dumbledore.
Right. In his younger form.
Yes, features heavily in the film. And a lot of the other characters, specifically Newt Scamander, is more of a character that's referenced in the Harry Potter franchise. He's he writes one of the textbooks that Harry Potter has to read for his Care of Magical Creatures class. So he's a character that's referenced but not seen in the original Harry Potter story.
Right.
So if you are going into it kind of expecting that you're going to see Hagrid, or you do kind of see Minerva McGonagall, but there were people that said it didn't make sense to have seen her, but so you will kind of, because I guess of her age, when the film
I guess.
Yeah, but. So there will be familiar characters. I'm so happy that we see Dumbledore's brother, Aberforth.
Yes.
Which you do see him, but obviously as an older man, he's the one that helps Harry and the Dumbledore's army sneak into the castle and out of the castle.
Yep.
I'm so glad we're seeing him because he...
Well, I feel like he has to be featured at some point in these films because he's there.
And the actor who played... Is he the Irish actor that... Killian? No, not Killian.
I don't know.
Oh, he...
His image in the trailer is such a flash.
Gleasons?
No, it's not. It's not Donald Gleason or his father, Brian. No.
Yeah.
Brandon Gleason.
Yeah.
Because Brandon Gleason actually played one of the. Oh my goodness, I can't even remember the character's name.
Yeah, it's...
He had a fake eye.
Oh,
Mad-Eye Moody.
Mad-Eye Moody.
There we go. See, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, when I saw, because you see Aberforth very briefly, but he reminds me of this Irish actor, and unfortunately I cannot remember his name, but he was in a production of Jane Eyre, and he's obviously done a ton of other things, but that's who it reminded me. So I got to double check to see if that's the actor I'm thinking of, but I am glad that we see him. We see Queenie, she's still with Grindelwald, that hasn't changed.
No, it has not.
Yeah.
Though I feel like her sister, who I can't remember for the life of me, remember who her name is.
Tina, I think?
Teeny. I think it's Teeny. Teeny and Queenie. Makes somewhat sense. But I don't think because she started helping Newt in the second movie and became his assistant essentially, if I'm recalling the movie correctly. But I don't think it's the same actress playing her.
Because there was a scene in the trailer where you see, like, where Newt is introducing sort of the players in the game. Yeah. Like, you know, a zoologist, you know, then eventually the baker is mentioned last, you know, a descendant from a rich, you know, and he is, if you watch the second film, he's the half-brother of, I can't remember any character names.
Because it's been about almost 3 years since the last movie came out.
We're gonna call her. I'll call her by her last name, Lestrange. She is, or Lestrange, however you want. It's a descendant, an ancestor of Bellatrix.
Yeah, she's part of the Lestrange line.
Yeah, and in the second film, you meet her half brother, who's this he's part of a proud African line of magical family, and the whole. And he returns to the movie, so he's going to be playing a part, I'm assuming, in the fight against evil.
Yeah.
And if you ever get the names...
I'm trying.
Okay. It's okay, we won't hold it against you.
Yeah, so he joins the cast, and then there's a scene in the trailer where it says, my assistant.
Yeah.
And it can't be the young girl who obviously likes Newt, the one who's reminding him of, the so-and-so needs to be fed today, Newt. I'm assuming it's not her. So is that the actress that replaces the one who played? Is that Teeny?
I don't know. See, this is the problem. This is because it's been, again, 3, almost 4 years.
Because I didn't recognize her at all.
Right. Well, I mean, his assistant would lead me to believe that it is Queenie's sister. Yeah. And that they've changed actors because of scheduling or because of how the world is right now. It's, okay.
So we're probably going to assume that character, and again, it's a Flash. Because also she's blonde.
Right.
And the original actress was a brunette, which kind of made her distinct from Queenie.
Right. So maybe somehow she's not even in the movie, but
I mean, it would be a shame. I could understand if they had to change the actress, but if the character is not included, especially since this is not a spoiler, she ends up marrying Newt Scamander in the Harry Potter, she's his wife.
Yeah.
It would be a shame if she weren't in there. I mean, I understand if they have to change the actress, but her character should be there.
Right. Again, this is only the first trailer. The first trailer that's been released. Yeah. Hopefully with the second trailer that's released, we'll see more of the movie. We'll see more of the characters. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see her.
Hopefully, yeah.
And hopefully she'll be playing a part, some form of role in the whole scheme of the movie, the whole arc.
And also returning, and I'm doing great. I'm not going to remember his name, but
we have problems with names right now.
Because he was named he's the character, if you recall, the first film was part of an orphanage. And every kid had patience, chastity, purity.
Oh yeah, I remember what you were talking about, but
So he had one of those names, and I can't remember. But he's the character that in the first 2 films, the story sort of revolves around him because it's sort of a mislead. Supposedly he's a brother of Dumbledore, which I know is not really canonical because as far as we know, Dumbledore only had Aberforth, and he had a sister, but he didn't have another brother, so I'm kind of thinking it's a misdirect.
I think I would agree.
Credence. His name is Credence.
There you go. See,
I remember Credence.
Yeah.
Which is the most far out there name, but I can't remember any of the other Credence.
Probably because it is far out.
Yeah. So he's a very powerful character who came from an abusive home, and he's one of the people that Grindelwald sort of manipulates, and he ends up becoming one of his followers. So he returns, which makes sense that he's very powerful.
He is. He was also because he was an untaught wizard in the first movie. He was this evil entity anyway that if he lost control would have not only destroyed New York City but himself in the process.
Yeah. So he's returned, which makes sense.
Right.
Queenie obviously has returned.
Yep.
Not looking as broken and fragile as she was in the second film.
Right. Well, I think too because she's been with Grindelwald for a long time.
Yeah. Even her color scheme, she's wearing darker colors.
She's wearing black.
Yeah.
Her dress is black, not pink and bubbly. Everything
Yes.
about her now is completely subdued and muted. So I think being with Grindelwald for as long as she has been, if this movie is, there's a time gap between the second movie and this one.
Yes.
She's definitely a different person for sure.
She is, and also considering in this sort of world in New York City, the laws against Muggles, or they call them no-mages, and wizards, it's strict. You can't marry, you can't be any kind of relationship.
No.
And that's key to understanding Queenie's character and her motivations for wanting to go with Grindelwald, because he essentially promises that, which he is a Voldemort-esque character, although he's
like the precursor to who Voldemort will eventually become.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he basically promises a world free of fear, free of stigma. Essentially, he claims, that no mages are not subordinate to us, they just have a different purpose. That's how he sort of paints it.
Right.
Voldemort is more upfront with how he feels about Muggles, where they essentially are like the scum of the earth, they need to be beneath us.
Right.
Grindelwald is more like political in terms of how he words things, like, we're not going to subdue them, we're not going to hurt them, they're just,
Right. I mean, he definitely reminds me of the dictators of the past in history, like Mussolini, like Hitler, like that very, Stalin to some extent, that very charismatic character that can enthrall any type of skeptic and pull them into their belief system. So that's exactly who he reminds me of, for sure.
Yeah, and going back to the trailer, we get some new Fantastic Beasts. We get some crab characters.
They look like scorpions.
And they could be crab scorpions.
They could be.
Crabikins, I don't know. But
we'll
but I just love how they go like this, and then you go. Like, it's just so funny, just like...
It's like completely what you would expect Newt's character to be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it reminded me of in the first film where they meet that rhinoceros-esque character in Central Park Zoo, and he sprays the Baker character with like musk, and they go mad for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I thought the scene was ridiculous. Watching it the second or third time, I was like, okay, this is kind of funny.
Well, of course it's ridiculous. So that scene was supposed to be ridiculous.
But it's just somebody, it's like, does like that mating dance. So it's very true. Like, we're not going to fight these, we're just going to adapt. And because that's also part of Newt's character in that he's very much like Hagrid.
Yes.
Where
I feel like he and Hagrid would be kindred spirits at that point.
Oh, they definitely would, because like Newt is the type where it's like they're not dangerous. We just need to understand them.
Yeah.
Like it tried to eat us, but it's so cute. And Hagrid's the same way. Like I think about the blast-ended Scroots that he tries to give her, like where they shoot fire out of one end and have like poisonous stingers on the other, and he can't understand why the kids don't want to take his class anymore.
Yeah.
So like Newt and Hagrid would definitely get along. So I love that scene in the trailer because once again it goes back to what Newt is all about.
Yeah.
He's all about animals. He doesn't really want the responsibility that was put upon him, but I think by the second film he kind of embraces it at that point.
Yeah.
And in the third one he's organizing his own kind of army, so to speak, to assist Dumbledore.
To help Dumbledore. Yeah, I feel like because in the first movie he was just there to catalog this mystical beast and also to release the Thunderbird back in Arizona, which I find to be interesting because the Thunderbird, I believe, is in correlation to Native American stories and mythology. So I just thought that was a really cool nod to that, for sure.
Yeah, and there's so much to unpack in the trailer.
There is so much, and but it's like we don't have enough information. We were given a taste. We weren't given the whole pie.
I was honestly surprised because most trailers they practically give you the entire film. You don't have to go to the theaters to watch it.
Yeah.
This trailer I think did enough of a job of giving you an idea of what you can expect.
Right.
Without giving away the whole film. So there's like some epic battle sequences between Grindelwald's followers, Dumbledore's followers.
Yeah.
I love the mention of the Room of Requirement. but they don't call it the room of requirement.
They don't.
Yeah, it's just like a room when it's required or whatever, some weird thing like that.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome room. Of all, like, the sort of elements of the Harry Potter world, I love the idea of a room that conforms to what the person using it needs.
Absolutely.
I love that. It's one of the best sort of magical elements in her series, like, where it intuitively knows, okay, this is what you're going to need.
Or, like, at the end of the trailer when Dumbledore says, very good, 50 points to Hufflepuff.
Yes.
I was so happy.
Yeah, because you could almost picture Newt as being like Hermione, only a little bit less annoying.
Yes.
And not that I hate Hermione, so for the Hermione stans, don't jump on me for this. But she is one of those characters where because she's very bookish, she almost feels the need to always prove. It's like, yeah, one of my favorite moments, you know, and I know, like, this is not about the Harry Potter franchise, but so many elements within the film sort of are allusions to what you eventually see, like the whole point system, the room of requirement. It's because for those who are not familiar, which the real story of this is actually just the Fantastic Beasts book, and I know she also made like a play, The Crimes of Grindelwald, but there is no actual like story for this.
Right.
So I think I kind of understand why they put little kernels of, well, if you saw the Harry Potter films, this will be familiar.
Right.
Because it's still like, it's the same universe.
Yeah, it is
you know?
Same universe. We're not veering so far off of the Harry Potter films.
Yeah.
You would not recognize certain aspects of it.
Yeah, so that was, like, room requirement is one of my favorite elements. And going back just to the first film, one of my favorite moments, and when I rewatched it, I still had that, was when you first get introduced into Makusa, and you enter the building.
Yeah.
And I just love it, because I love how they made it very distinct from the British governmental office and whatnot. And I loved the mice, like the paper mice that get shredded or whatever. Like, there's a scene where... Cause,
Simona, you remember far more about this movie than I do.
There's a really cool scene, because Teeny, she was an Auror, but because she sort of messed up something, she got demoted.
I remember that.
And she works in, maybe one of the lower offices of the building, and you see paper mice running around. At one point they get shredded. I don't know what it's supposed to be an allusion to.
Yeah.
But it's very cool. That whole scene of being introduced is really nice. I like how they made it very distinct. I like how they use different terminology, like the no-mage versus muggles.
Yeah. I think I like no-mage better than
it kind of makes more sense, because muggles...
does.
And if any of our viewers know this, like why she chose Muggle, I'm assuming there was a purpose behind the word choice, but no mage sort of makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Because literally no magic.
Right.
Maybe not as creative, but it just makes more sense to me. So going back to the trailer, there's a lot of, we're going to get more magical creatures, Credence returns, badder than ever. He seems to also have gained more confidence based on the trailer alone.
Right, and more control over his magic.
Yes, the baker gets a wand, which I don't know how...
I am so looking forward to see.
I know, because if there's a character that deserves to go to Ollivanders, it's the baker.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I love that. I'm probably going to be clapping like mad when I see it again, because like, yay, it's a wand! Because he's just so cute. He's an adorable character. And I think he deserves it, because I like how even though he has no power, he's not useless. He can still contribute to their cause. And also, to me, it makes sense to include a Muggle, because Grindelwald is not only a detriment to wizards, he's a detriment to non-wizards.
Yeah.
So they should be included. Like, a lot of the times, one of the things I fault the Harry Potter universe is that, like, they'll notify, like, I'm remembering back to, I think, like, the 5th book, when the Muggle Prime Minister meets with the Prime Minister, Fudge, and I think, and, like, says, oh, okay, there's this dark wizard that wants to kill every person, but don't worry, we got it under control, see you next time, and, like, he disappears.
Yeah.
Where there's very, like, they inform, but they're not really actively engaging the Prime Minister and really saying, you know, this is how you can sort of, you know, watch out.
Yeah. So
I like how in this film, Baker Man, which I wish I remember his name, oh my god, is going to be a bigger part of it.
Yeah.
You know, and and also in the second film, like, his bakery is pretty successful.
Yeah.
Which I was very happy about.
So
like,
was I.
Yeah, I was like, because that was his dream. He didn't want to be in corporate.
No.
He wanted to be a baker.
Yes. But what I love about the first movie is that after he has his memory wiped of it all, at the end, he has his bakery, which is fabulous, and then he starts making, most of his pastries are of the animals that he has
I have a
seen.
theory.
Yeah.
And Joe, have you seen the films?
I haven't actually.
Okay.
Why?
I've seen the Harry Potter ones. I just never got on the Fantastic Beasts train.
Well, when you do hop on that train,
Yes.
there's the scene when Queenie, and I'm putting it in air quotes, wipes his memories. I don't believe she actually did, because in the end of the first film, the spell is kind of in the rain that falls. I don't know how that works out.
That was the Minister of Magic.
She conjures him an
President of
umbrella.
Magic, excuse me.
Yeah, she conjures him an umbrella.
Yeah, and then he pulls the umbrella away and has the rain fall on him. So he does lose his memory.
Darn, that goes my theory. Like, when I was watching, I was like saying, that explains why he knew. Because the umbrella. Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry. I
Thank
burst
you,
your
Katie.
bubble.
I know, it's okay.
I rained on your parade.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was like, I was like so proud of myself when I was like, oh, I know how he, but okay, never mind.
I'm sorry.
It was true love.
It was.
True love, because Queenie goes into his bakery and he's making all like the animals, which I would so eat those baked products.
I would too.
And he sees her, and it's almost like they start afresh. Although the one thing that bothered me in the second film was that they made Queenie almost like roofie him with the spell that she played, which I didn't appreciate. I know why she did it, but she was wrong, because she essentially puts a spell on him where he doesn't realize that, doesn't even realize they've gotten married, doesn't remember when they got married.
Right.
And Queenie was like, basically, well, you know, you weren't going to do it, so I kind of got tired of waiting, or she was afraid he would not. And rightfully so, he's angry.
Right.
You know, and it's Newt that sort of pulls it off him and makes him, because Newt justifiably says, you can't keep on doing this to
and
him.
you want to know something, too? When I saw that, it instantly reminded me of what Voldemort's mother had done to his father, but with the love potion. So it instantly, like, took me back to that, and I was, oh, look at that. There's
so for those of you who remember, Voldemort's mother, Merope, I'm assuming is how you pronounce her name, was in love with this muggle Tom, essentially roofied him via magic, got married to him, had a child with him, but eventually she couldn't hide it anymore. She took the spell off, and that's when he abandoned her, and, you know, she gave birth and died. So, yeah, so that scene with Queenie always bothered me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it wasn't treated as a joke. I think the film could have gone that route.
Right.
But Newt is the one that says, you can't do that, you can't keep on, it's not right, and Queenie is very resistant, but, you know, eventually the baker guy remembers.
And then, like, I feel like that was like a perfect parallel to what had essentially created Voldemort.
Yes.
Because it shows what a person would go for. Like, not to make this more of a big deal, but like in A Court of Thorns and Roses, in Amarantha's riddle, she says that it can be a power and it can also be a poison. Love can absolutely cause you to do things that you wouldn't normally do, and that, I think, exemplifies what Queenie was trying to do in the second movie.
Yeah, definitely, because she realizes that, you know, their love is illegal, essentially.
Yeah.
Because they're going back to, like, the Salem witch trials, and because of that, they've basically said, okay, in order to avoid that ever happening again, we need to enact strict laws.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what she is fighting against, but she goes about it the wrong way.
She
so
does.
definitely looking forward to seeing how her character has changed.
Yeah.
Because she starts off very sweet, very bubbly. By the second film, even the fact that her own powers, because she's a legitimens.
Right.
And her powers begin to overwhelm her.
Yeah.
So also Grindelwald lures her in by saying, I can help you with that too.
Right.
So I want to see how she's mastered that, because like her presence in the trailer, like she's standing erect, she's all in black, you know, even the way her hair is worn, it's very sleeked back, almost very militaristic.
Right, there's none of that, there's no sparkle in her eye, there's no smile on her face, she's very much subdued.
Yeah. So it's gonna definitely be interesting.
Yes.
Were there other elements of the trailer that caught your eye that you're looking forward to? Like, what's that going to be about? Or
I think just watching the trailer, it just brought me back to when a very nostalgic feeling for me for when Harry Potter was first coming out.
Yeah.
Because I read those books growing up. I grew up with those characters in the movies. So just getting that, like, excited and whimsical feeling, I guess, for seeing the trailer, knowing we're going back into the Harry Potter world from a very different perspective and angle is I'm just really, really looking forward to it and seeing characters coming back.
And it's so funny, when I first watched the films, I was kind of like, these are okay, they could be better. But I am such a Harry Potter person that, like, honestly, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Like, which I don't think the film is gonna, like, suck in any way. I think, honestly, the films are getting better.
Yeah.
Like, I personally loved the second film, although it was very long, you know, I loved it more than the first one, and I'm pretty sure the third one will be even better than the second.
Yeah.
A character that we haven't yet seen, which I'm kind of curious if they'll bring it back, is Nagini.
Oh, yeah. Again, though, this is only the first trailer.
Yeah, so I'm curious if they're gonna.
Hopefully, with the second trailer, they'll show more. So they'll bring in more characters and.
Yeah. Although, like, I'm kind of curious how they're gonna handle her, because if you're aware, the big reveal from J.K. Rowling was that Nagini the snake started off as a human who had a blood curse.
Yes. Well, when I saw the second movie, I was like, oh my God, that's Nagini. That's the snake.
So I'm curious because she starts off as someone who she's in a freak show.
Yeah.
For wizards and witches, where her blood curse to change into an animal, which eventually becomes permanent, is part of her attraction.
Right.
So she's in a cage, and it's Credence who sort of rescues her, and that's why she latches on to Credence.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though, what will make her eventually, because she eventually becomes Voldemort's pet or companion or you know, in the books I'm not sure how much Voldemort cares for her because he cares or because she's, as this is not a spoiler if you've read the books, she's one of his Horcruxes.
Right.
So I'm curious what they're going to do with her character, because she's definitely someone who is with Credence, cares about him. I don't see her as the type that would have willfully committed violence, but we're going to see how her story progresses.
Right, absolutely.
I'm assuming maybe we'll see the moment when she joins Voldemort, you know, because I'm assuming, and where I'm hoping the franchise will end, will be with the epic battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. I'm assuming that's how they're going to end the series.
Yeah. Which would make sense.
Yeah, because that's what Dumbledore and Grindelwald are most known for, the fact that they had that epic battle and he was put into prison and whatnot. Another thing I'm kind of curious about, and maybe if they release more trailers they'll actually show this, is I'm hoping there will be moments between Dumbledore and Grindelwald, like where they actually are talking to one another.
Yeah.
Because like in the first two films there's zero interaction between them. So
I could have sworn in the second movie though that we get I think it's when Dumbledore's looking at the Mirror of Erised that we do get a conversation of their younger selves before they go off in their own directions, but I'm probably imagining that.
Yeah, like I'm kind of hoping they do that. You know, because
I think we all hope that they do
because it's gonna make sense. These characters have to meet. I'm hoping like they meet before the epic battle. I mean, considering that Dumbledore is actively working against Grindelwald, there has to be at least a brief conversation. Like even if they don't exchange, like we used to have this epic love.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have that exchange, like I'm assuming some conversation should take place between these two characters.
Yeah.
And also the way Maz is portraying him, I definitely like the look. I'm glad they toned down the pasty makeup. I'm glad he no longer has that white hair, because the way Johnny Depp's character was stylized was a little too much for me. I loved his clothing, but his makeup and hair, no. So I'm glad that they toned it down a lot, as far as I was able to get from the trailer.
Yeah, and Mads, I love watching him. He the way he portrays characters is very, very exceptional, I think.
Yes,
And
he does a
when
good
he
job.
plays a villain, he doesn't go like over the top or you know, he's not like that James Bond villain. He plays them more subdued, and I think that's when you get a more dangerous characters when they're more subdued. So
Exactly.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing him play Grindelwald.
Yeah, and for those, like, if you're not familiar with Maz, and his last name is Mikkelsen with an M?
Yeah.
Okay. He will be familiar if you've seen the Hannibal series. He was also in one of the James Bond films. He played one of the villains.
He did. The Daniel Craig James Bond.
Yeah.
He was also in King Arthur. He played one of the knights in Clive Owen and Keira Knightley.
Yeah, so he has been a lot. He's done a lot in his acting career. And he's definitely very talented. So, and I know that when he took on the role, obviously he was taking over for Johnny Depp because of the whole controversy with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which I won't go into. But that whole controversy sort of sealed Johnny Depp's fate and sort of removed him. And essentially removed him from the franchise. So when Mads Mikkelsen took over, he had to assure people, you know, I'm not going to be Johnny Depp, you know.
Yeah.
While I'm sure he may have studied because he's essentially playing the same character.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to put his own spin, but you still have to believe, even though it's different actors, it's the same character.
Right.
Very much, it kind of felt the same way when the actors who played Dumbledore changed. And I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, but the actor who took over for Dumbledore for the third film...
Michael Gambon.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
When Richard Harris passed away, Michael Gambon took over.
And I feel like he captured Dumbledore better. I mean, I understand that the previous actor, Richard Harris, he only did 2 films.
He did.
I understand.
Yeah.
But when I saw Michael Gambon, I was like, oh, that's Dumbledore. You know?
No, see, now I felt the opposite. I felt that Richard Harris did a very good job at portraying Dumbledore the way I saw Dumbledore being in the books, at least for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So when Michael Gambon came on as being the new Dumbledore for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, I had a harder time watching him as Dumbledore, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. So any, like, closing thoughts?
I am looking forward to this movie. I am definitely going to be in the theaters to see this movie in April 2022, so.
Yes. So, so we both really enjoyed the trailer. If you're interested in watching the previous 2 films, they are available in the system, so if you haven't seen them, definitely check them out.
Idea, for sure.
We also do have the Crimes of Grindelwald play in book format, you know, so you can check that out. We have the Fantastic Beasts book, which is really good. We have all the Harry Potter books, of course. So, and lastly, if you like what you saw, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Harry, it's me, Hagrid. Good to see you. I need some fire seeds. You've done it, Harry. Ain't he lovely? I'll call him Norbert.